section A. Today we have a debate practice. So, listen carefully, and those are my debate teams. Those names are Sabona, Sinan, and Gali, and they are our opponent group. May I give chance to them to introduce themselves?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a debate with grade 4A. My name is Borto Adele, and these are my group members. Let Yosef Motiya Swenda, Yusmade Salim. Our group records that clothes is better than shelter. Please, please follow us till the end.
We presented which one is more important, shelter or clothes, and my group can started the point of shelter is more important than clothes. In my point of view, shelter is more important than clothes. If we don't have a shelter, we may fall in the many risks without a shelter. Individuals are more subjected to be disease, and health is just related to exposure and lack of the hygiene. This can have a long term of effect on health. So, in my opinion, shelter is more important than clothes.
And there, I will say, in my opinion, first human have found clothes, not shelter, and we cannot live without clothes. Second is Adam and Eve have found first clothes, not shelter.
First of all, thank you for giving me this chance. May I introduce myself? My name is First of first First chance, may I introduce myself? My name is Sapona Zalalam, and today we have a debate on which one is more important. Shelter is more important, in my opinion. Shelter is more important than clothes because of we can live without shelter. We can live without clothes, but we can't live without shelter. In example, instead of clothes, we can use like leaves and the dry skin.
First of all, thank you for giving me chance. My name is Motiyasu, and we have a debate. My option are clothes is more important than shelter, because of when we see the first nature, first the God give to Adam and Hewan. First he give clothes, not shelter. So in my point of view, clothes is more important than shelter. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Sinan. I'm going for section A, and we have a debate today. And our debate motion is which one is important, shelter or cross? And our group is shelter. And when we talk about shelter, is the main or important thing for human being. In my opinion, shelter is better than cross.
In my reaction, that's clothes better than shelter. When we say this, clothes is one of the basic needed things by humans. So clothes protect us from hot, cold, raw surface, sharp stones, and insect bites by providing barrier between the skin. When we say this, clothes protect us from disease like cold and etc. If we wear a cloth, it will warm up our body, so we can't catch cold easily. So clothes is better than shelter. Let me introduce myself. My name is Darlene Datu. I am grade first day section A. Today we have debate. My debate group is shelter. Shelter is home, safety, and a comfortable to place. A house is place where family come together and live in good relationship. So, in my opinion, house is more than to shelter.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Bismar Salah, grade 4, section B. Section B, clothes hide our bare bodies. Having clothes develop our confidence in front of people. So, in my opinion, clothes is that shelter.
In my opinion, shelter is more important than clothes. To describe this, I have many reasons. The first is Tom Tomb shelter is more useful than clothes because we can live without clothes, but we cannot live without shelter. And if you say I live in outside, you don't live for a long time. So shelter is more important than clothes. And may I ask you a question? What are the long term impacts of lacking adequate shelter compared to lacking sufficient clothes?
Oh, I will say, if you can you ask me that question again?
What are the long-term impacts of lacking of adequate shelter compared to lacking the sufficient clothes?
First, so if you ask me this question, I am. You can ask me about clothes. I'm not debating you about shelter.
Your message. Listen the question carefully. What are the long-term impacts of lacking adequate shelter compared to lacking the sufficient clothes?
Ask me again.
What are the long-term impacts of lacking adequate shelter compared to lacking the sufficient clothes?
Quiet. Yeah, but if there is no answer, let's try to explain them what you have failed your question. You failed your question, so explain give them the answer after that.
The long-term impact is how we don't compare shelter to clothes. Because of the long-term impacts, you don't live for a long time in outside. If you say street, if you say the pants, you don't live for a long time. If you live for a long time, you will be dead. So your opinion is not good. So shelter is more better than clothes.
So I will say, clothes have many uses. For example, it depends if called from us. For example, if you are living alone in one house, you are not wearing. You are only blankly. So when you live in that house, you can have cold. So close defensive call from us. And another one is it makes insects don't have to bite us. For example, like mosquito. If a mosquito bite us for many times, it will make us dead. And the another one is it hide our skin. So how can you walk outside no clothes?
In my opinion, shelter is more important than clothes because
I said, how you can walk without a outside, Sabona.
I still.
If you steal, you can't.
I use some leaves.
For example, if you are wearing leaves, that is close to. For example, first man when they have no clothes, they was wearing like leaves and leaves. For example, if
So?
you wear like this, the man can help to you. You can have shame less. So how you can walk outside without clothes?
You are represent for me because of I don't have a clothes like the months I use the leaves if I don't have a clothes. So if I have a shelter, I live in the and our shelter used for store things. For example, if you buy something by your richness, you are rich and you are buy something when you put that thing or where you keep.
I can put wherever I want it. So because it is my thing, I can put it in a sack and I can store it wherever I want it.
Where is the place?
we can keep them in luggage.
Luggage is not shelter.
Are you kidding?
It's a shelter.
Can you live in the luggage?
Yes, it can be covered by something, and our shelter can be Our shelter can be protected from as thieves to take thieves to many things. So it's covered by something. Language you say. If you take, it can be covered by some plastics. So
I said, can you live in the luggage?
yes,
How?
if I have things, I live no problem.
Luggage. Answer this question. Madam. This question.
Can you live in a luggage? Huh?
Can you give me luggage?
How?
Bag. Luggage means bag, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Jalane. You are going to end the presentation. Hurry up.
You put all of things in your bag.
I said, can you live in a luggage?
I don't live, but when you keep some,
You don't live. This means
when you keep something in it, you don't keep all of it. So, are you mad?
No, don't insult each other. Hmm? Don't insult each other. If you don't have the way to respond, it is not good to insult. You have to adjust your manner. All right. Okay, end your conversation. Hurry. You can end.
So, in my point of view, shelter is more important than clothes. To having a consistent place, we contribute to immutable well-being, reducing anxiety and stress associated with housing, comfortable living conditions of physical stability. So, shelter is more important than clothes. And may I ask you one question?
Wait, before. Let's just now end. Let's conclude.
in my option, clothes is more important than shelter. Whatever house, if we said that house is cheap house, we can't live without clothes in that house. For example, if one human being live in cheap house, when we say cheap house, the floor is ceramics, the wall is blockades, the roof is gypsum. When he sit inside of that house, it's very cold, like refrigerator. In this time, automatically we have wear woolen clothes and the socks. If we haven't clothes, we can take pneumonia. Then, if we haven't clothes, we can't live.
Okay, okay. Who can add? Who can end from here? Jalane. Can you end from here?
I believe shelter is better than clothes because if you talk about it is me, think for human being and for example, if a thief is chasing you, if you hate in your shelter or home, he can even see or touch because he can not get in your home or shelter or not that does.
Okay, in my opinion, I will say clothes is more important. For example, when you wanted to build some shelter, you can't. Like trees can cut you. For example, if you are building this house, you can't. You are no sense necessary. You are blankly, so you can't build. So how you can build?
I don't live in this house or in cheap house.
Okay, let me give you a definition or detailed explanation. Shelter refers to refer to a place that provides protection from the weather and danger, and it is fundamental human need, usually physical security, health, privacy, and dignity. Offers a space to live and store belonging, fostering a sense of stability and dignity. And let me answer your question. If there is no shelter, where would you live?
On street. Can live on street.
Street can covered by something
It's shelter. It's called shelter.
because of covered by something. That one covered by something.
Very much for your participation. So we are going to give the stage for the judge to evaluate you, to evaluate what you have done. Thank you.
Okay. I think you have heard the debate and uh, WADA groups and war two groups. WADA group said uh, shelter more than important more than clauses and war two group said uh, clause more than shelter. They said. Um, I think the group of WADA give more uh, expressions and they use the expressions in debates like how you can explain your idea by using expressions like in my view I think I believe and such like expressions and also they give their idea more and also Bhartu groups has have many expressions and also they explain more but as we said WADA groups are archived because of when they ask this group some question they can't answer for them and when one or two groups ask them, they try to answer the question for them. So as a result, WADA groups give more explanation on their debates and that they have achieved in my view. So at the end, WADA groups has groups have achieved, in my opinion. That's all. All right. Thank you very much. And we are reach at the end of the debate. But in debate, you have to respect each one idea. You understand? You have to respect each one idea. There is no need for insulting or using harsh word. No, no. For those who read that, don't do it for next time. So thank you very much. In my opinion, WADA groups have been trying giving response to your questions, but Boharto groups they didn't try to answer the question. So due to that, the WADA group they are the winner today. Clap for them one time. One time, one time, two times. Thank you very much.